sensible conversation and a sensible resolution. So life is not all about understanding just yourself, but being aware of how. Thank you, Dr. Mwende. We love the love.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Mwende. And you're welcome. Thank you for coming.
So the coping strategies equip you with the skills that you need to be successful given that event or given that situation again, and not cripple you or cause you to be at a standstill and cause you to want to avoid people even. So with these coping strategies, that therapy has group therapies, group sessions facilitated by someone that is cognitive of the different therapeutic methods can help bring a sense of, oh, I know if this happens again, these are the things that I can do to address it. Some people, they don't know what to do when they have a just life-threatening situation, or they have a breakdown in communication in their home, maybe between two spouses, or they may have a breakdown in communication on their job. They don't know what to do. And putting them in the same situation over and over again without giving them replacement behaviors or strategies does not help them be resilient and does not empower them to change their environment and to change their solution. So with coping strategies and with discussions on how to address certain things, these are ways in which we use resilience to combat the effects of mental health. And I know Dr. Mwende is on and in the room. She does great work on TikTok, and I almost think sometimes she gives all of her secrets away for free. And even you, Coach, and others that I've visited their rooms, they provide great discussion topics. They provide great advice. And it is Christian-based, God-fearing. And I think that's what we need as well, because sometimes life is lifing, and that just means it throws some jabs and punches at us. And we can't always stand the punches and the jabs, and we need other people that have a relationship with God to pray with us or to seek God on our behalf and intercede on how to get us to a place of, as we want to say, normancy, or a place of solence. So yes, coping strategies, coping mechanisms are very key to combat trauma and mental health diagnosis.
Thank you. So can these strategies, can therapy strategies alone can be enough for some people? Can it be enough? Like they don't want to take medication, but those therapy sessions, can they be enough to some people?
I wouldn't say that, because it's a case-by-case situation. Therapy alone may or may not affect a person in a way that they want to see the results. And so that's why they may say therapy with medication. However, in my field, when we talk about children with autism spectrum disorder, we're not talking about just having them have talk therapy, but we're talking about applied behavior analysis, which is a therapeutic method to treat autism spectrum disorder, meaning that we teach them replacement behaviors. So we also say in our field that medication does not teach skills. So medicating children, even with attention deficit disorder, does not teach the skills that they need to function. It may cause the brain to be regulated in as much time as they need to focus on what you're trying to teach them. But ultimately, we need to teach them replacement skills and replacement strategies.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing this information. Now, I've been trying to think about more stuff on this, on the therapy. Mm-hmm. Can the role, lifestyle can lifestyle play as a healing role. Like sometimes you find people ask question if they were using drugs, if they were such questions, they get such questions if in their lifetime they use drug, because maybe that might have triggered some places in their minds. I don't know if you are getting what I'm saying. So is lifestyle, can lifestyle play as healing, as a role in healing?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So lifestyle changes are critical and important in treating mental health. I'm reading, and I don't mind reading because this is from a reliable source. Again, I'm looking at a lot of the information on the CDC. And mind body optimization is the source that I'm looking at now. It says that critical important changes help serve as foundational pillars for managing conditions like depression and anxiety. While they can independently treat mild symptoms and reduce the need for medication, they are effective when used alongside with traditional therapies. So lifestyle changes, exactly what we're talking about, the breathing, the waking up, and, reducing the need to just, go and get ready and leave the house, but being able to settle yourself and bring yourself to a place of calm and ease before you take on the stress of the day. Being able to exercise, walking helps to reduce cortisol, and it also helps to bring your body to a sense of relaxation. Eating right, our diet and our intake of water, being able to help bring oxygen to your body, breathing correctly. All of these lifestyle changes absolutely change the trajectory and the dynamics of mental health diagnosis. So much so, yoga, breath work, relaxation. I don't know if you were on the other day, Wednesday, when I had my live stream. The grandparent said that her child now knows how to go and de-escalate himself and regulate his emotions. He goes into a corner, he starts breathing. She teaches some yoga strategies, and it has tremendously changed his behavior in school, even so much so that she said the teachers are like, is he okay? Like, what is going on? Is he punishing himself? So
I had the experience, even if I was in and out. I had parents talking about the experiences. It was amazing. Guys, Liz goes live on Wednesdays. If you get a chance, just watch out and go and learn more. Thank you so much. That is a practical example that you have just given a parent sharing information about what they did and how it helped, and even people around the teachers wondered what is happening. So things can happen. Thank you so much.
Also, nutrition plays a part in the psychiatry or psychiatric understanding of the brain. And so being able to eat a balanced diet, certain foods help with that chemistry in our brain, as well as the brown bag diet, as we talk about in our field. This is going to fast food restaurants and carrying your food in a brown bag. These are full of carbohydrates, and these are full of things that in our body or in our diet that our body does not like. Gut health is definitely tied to mental health. So the way that we're digesting our food, the way that our body reacts to what we eat, all of that plays a part in mental health, and even clearing up brain fog or clearing up fatigue, chronic fatigue, all of these things, eating more live vegetables and fruits, things that are alive going in, help the body. And so stress management has something to do with understanding mindfulness. So mindfulness is being able to be present in the moment. So although I'm here talking to you through my social media TikTok channel, I also am mindful of this conversation. So I'm not doing other things in the room. I'm not, using time to check my emails, but being present in the moment is very critical and key to building relationships. Nobody wants to talk to someone that's always in their phone and they're trying to have a conversation with you, or their mind is on a million things, racing through a million things, but you're trying to cultivate a relationship with them. So all of these things help combat again and serve as a buffer for trauma and mental health diagnosis.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this. Welcome everybody, and thank you so much the ones who are coming in. And thank you for being here. We are talking about mental health disorders, living with mental health disorders. So if you have any question, if you have already written down questions, we're gonna answer those questions. And if you got lost somewhere, guys, you are free to ask. You're free to ask. So thank you so much for being here. Keep on liking, keep on commenting, keep on sharing. We are creating awareness. So it's good to share the live stream to as many people as possible. And if you're able to come late, you're not able to capture, don't worry, we're going to do something so that you're able to get all the information that we're sharing with you. Today, we have Coach Liz over here. We are sharing about mental health, these orders that we live with them every single day, so that people can also know they are not alone. So many people are going through the same thing and they're able to maneuver if you get the right information. Wellness, I see you. Thank you so much for coming. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, Naya. Welcome, everybody. Now, as we continue talking about mental health, what does recovery really mean in mental health? Can someone fully recover or learn to manage a mental health disorder?
Okay, so when you talk about recovery, I'm reading some information from the American Psychiatric Association. Again, we talked about lifestyle changes. And so physical activity, diet and nutrition, mind, body, and mindfulness practices, restorative sleep. Sleep is plays a critical and vital role to allowing our body to adjust, to reset, and to heal. There are certain times of our sleep that we enter in REM, which is rapid eye movement. That is said to be one of the most critical ways in which our body, or effective ways in which our body heals during that time. So all of these suggestions help. I think you asked, does the body ever recharge, or what did you ask again? I'm sorry.
Can someone fully recover or learn to manage mental health disorder?
Yeah. So the recovery happens with these lifestyle changes and being able to rewire the brain and be able to rest and heal from trauma. Also, avoiding harmful substances, alcohol, or other substances could exacerbate the mental health diagnosis. And then having powerful and meaningful social connections and social experiences really helps to bring resilience. Again, resiliency means to be able to thrive through what you're going through. So not to get stuck and be held in a state of trauma or a state of mental illness. These are ways in which we combat mental illness, and being able to thrive with a mental illness or being able to still be successful. That's the goal. So some people get reevaluated, and sometimes we see in the field opportunity for them to level. For instance, there are 3 levels of autism spectrum disorder. A level 1 student will be a student that has more functional skills, has a lot of language, may have some still social deficits. And a level 3 student will have intensive behavior recommendations because they may not can talk, they may not be able to regulate their emotions, they may not be able to make eye contact or even have conversation. So we have seen students move from a level 3 to a level 1 in the field that I'm in on the spectrum. However, again, this is something that we thrive through and not worry about trying to succumb to the pressure of the diagnosis or the alienation or the isolation or the stigma that is surrounded around the diagnosis, but having the tools to be successful in spite of the diagnosis.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach Liz, for that information.
Yes.
Now, let's get to stigma now, because what role does stigma? Because when we think of Africa, especially where I come from, stigma is a big issue. People might have people who have these disorders and they hide them completely. Okay, some instances we'll have, maybe they don't have the way they can get medication or anything, but most of the time you'll find they hide these people so that they're not be seen. It's like a omen, it's like a bad thing, you know. So what role does stigma play in preventing people from seeking help?
Great question.
Welcome, Dr. Shoemi. Thank you for coming. Yeah, you can continue.
So a stigma is, according to the CDC, Center for Disease Control, is a barrier, a significant barrier, actually, not just a barrier, a significant barrier to mental health care, often leading people to delay seeking help. They want to conceal the symptoms, or like you said, put their child in an ostracized location where there is no one that knows their family business or know what's going on with that child, maybe have a provider or caregiver for that child until they can expose them to the public. It also sometimes leads to parents discontinuing treatment or people discontinuing treatment due to shame and fear of discrimination. According to the CDC, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, it talks about it worsens symptoms and creates a cycle of self-blame, isolation, and hopelessness. So when you talk about stigma, there are family stigmas, national stigmas, that affect us. And one stigma, public stigma, self-stigma, there are structural stigmas. But these, again, are negative stereotypes that cause us to, instead of heal and get the help that we need, we are alienated and we are excluded from the natural environment or public in hopes that they'll get over it or they'll get past it or they'll get cast out. Like the demons or the spirits will be cast out of a person so that they can heal. So all of these things, again, put less emphasis on treatment, more emphasis on societal acceptance, and more emphasis on how it makes the family appear or how it makes the individual appear. It causes us to also judge people, judge their family, judge their condition instead of trying to get help for them. And again, it impedes treatment. So instead of using the energy to seek treatment and seek help, it causes us to hide, and without getting the treatment that we need, it can lead to other mental health diagnoses. So one way I say to combat stigma is this form. So what you're doing, you're teaching, you're educating, you're exposing, and you're bringing light to the truth. Anything that is hidden and unexposed continues to get darker and deeper and affects us in a more broader way. But when we expose and admit and come forth and say, this is how I need help, again, not to everyone, your business is your business. You have the right to even keep your health information, your private health information, your business and no one else's business. But seeking the help from the right people that cause you to feel trusted and they are trustworthy, meaning that your business is not going to be on social media. It's not going to be advertised. It's not going to be passed from one auntie to the next auntie, but it's going to stay within a trusted community of believers or people that are professional and can help you. That's what we want to start with, exposing the truth about how you can heal from any diagnosis and thrive with a diagnosis is important to combat a stigma.
Thank you so much, everybody. Dr. Soemi, I saw your question over there. He was asking what you're talking about, what mental health topic are we discussing? I'll give Coach Liz to explain that question, because I know she specializes on specifics, but at the end of the day, we are talking in general. So, Coach Liz, are you able to address that question? What mental topic are we discussing?
So today we're talking about how to thrive even in light of a mental health diagnosis. So again, this is our opportunity to ask questions. However, we've been talking about how mental health presents some barriers, and it prevents people from getting the help and the therapy that they need. And one of the ways that we understand mental health is some common cognitive functioning and or trauma can affect people in a way that it stops them and it causes them not to feel resilient. Also, it causes them not to feel empowered to get the help and seek the solutions that they need.
Thank you for explaining that. All right. So if you have any comments, we are getting there. If you have any assumption, if you have any example, if you have any experience, you'll be free. Feel free to share. Now, what is one truth about mental health you wish everyone understood?
So one truth about mental health, again, going back to our discussion, because people come and go at different times during the talk, 1 out of 4 adults currently live with a disability. So when you talk about a disability, you're talking about how it affects their functioning. You're talking about how it affects their independence. And some people have been independent so long that any event, traumatic event, any life change can affect their mental psyche, their mind, and how they're processing what's going on, which could lead to mental health diagnosis. We also talked about in this field of mental health, we want to promote wellness, and wellness means many different things. But one thing we can do is change our lifestyle and change how we think. One thing that we can change is our cognition and how we allow the thoughts dealing with our situation to affect us. We talk about seeking professional help, psychologists, psychiatrists. Sometimes medication is in order, and we need medication to help with the neurons and the neuropathy of the body and the mind. And so medication in its time and its place is needed. However, medication does not teach skills. So I work with children who have mental health diagnoses such as autism spectrum disorder, ADD and ADHD, attention deficit disorder. Giving them medication, Ritalin or other medications may allow them to have a window of focus to teach the skill, but medication in itself does not replace someone coming in, helping them to teach and to learn new ways of behavior and new ways of thinking. So someone says herbs exactly in the chat. Herbs do help. Ashwagandha helps decrease cortisol. So cortisol sends your body into a continual fight or flight. Or it is like, from what I've heard and even research, it's like a freight train. It will go and go and go and go, and very hard to stop the buildup of cortisol. And so different herbs help. Ashwagandha helps bring just calm and ease to our body and resetting our body. And also anything that promotes gut health. Someone says gut is the second brain. So gut health is how we digest foods. Many foods all over the world, not just here in America, affects our hormones and it affects our ability to create dopamine or to secrete dopamine, serotonin. These are happy hormones that we need. They say the dope that we do need is dopamine. And so all of these things, if they're not balanced, yes, every health problem starts with the gut. Thank you, Wellness Revolution. If these are not discussed and talked about, how would we know? It has revolutionized my mindset addressing some of the concerns that I have with stress because I see and treat clients and I've worked with children and sometimes going in their environment is extremely stressful because you're trying to change the mindset of not only the child, but the healthcare workers and even the caregivers. And that can bring undue stress. And so having a routine helps the body, signals to the body, I'm safe. It brings safety not only for children, understanding their routine and expecting things that can go wrong, how to address things that could, not by planning, go wrong, but just by life that can go wrong. And so being flexible with your routine, but having a nighttime routine, having a daytime routine, all of these help reduce stress and bring ease and calm to the body, which also promotes the happy hormones that we need in our body.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Coach Liz, for this information you are sharing. Guys, thank you so much also for being here. Guys, it's time for asking questions, or if you have any submission, you're welcome. The people who have come late, I can see Mama Obejo over here. You're welcome. I try and bring Mama Obejo up, guys, even if we are through with the interview now. It's time for people to comment, to ask questions, give their experiences. Good afternoon, Mama Obejo. You're welcome. It's morning on our side. It's afternoon on your side. It's evening on other people's side. You are welcome. Thank you. No problem, Wellness. You can still stay over there as long as you can see your comments. We are able to see your comments. So it's time to ask questions. If you can ask in the comment section, if you want to come up, you can also come up. Mama Obejo, you have been talking about living with mental health disorders, living with mental health disorders. You're welcome, Mama Obejo. Thank you for joining. So guys, if you have any question, any submission.
Wellness Revolution is saying the body, mind, and soul are connected. You are absolutely correct. We can't separate them, and that's why we have to treat them all simultaneously if possible. I see Dr. on the panel. Welcome in, Doctor. If he wants to chime in as well, that would be great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the recognition. Great. Coach, thank you so much for the invite and all that you do. We appreciate you. I pray that you get more grace for this assignment. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
And behavior talks, thank you for all you do, ma'am. I really appreciate everyone. Wellness Revolution, all the strong community, Mama Obejo, and everyone in the panel. I celebrate you all. So anytime it's health talk, I'm always my heart is there, and it seems I don't want to talk, but I have to talk. Yeah. So practicing as a family physician, it's interesting that I do beyond the medical Of course, we talk about physical health, mental health, and then social health. So there's the connection with us, the spiritual foundation, which is very important. So I look at the aspect of support for individuals with mental health challenges. Interestingly, it seems that before we talk about support, we need to be able to identify the real situation here. There are people that are depressed that don't know that they are. So there is usually a need to have that proper diagnosis made by a doctor. There are people that are anxious who don't know they are. There are people around, some people who are thinking of unaliving themselves, but somebody somewhere didn't know they were planning that. I think more men tend to carry it out than women. Women attempt more, but men, once they attempt, they tend to carry it out. Based on what I know, behavior talks, I'm not sure if you talked about that. Thank you, ma'am. So I want to see a situation where we are encouraging ourselves to not just look out for these things, maybe symptoms, signs in ourselves, but look at around us. We have people around us that we should not ignore the warning signs. You know, when we have an individual who has been social before, who suddenly decide to withdraw from the social connections, it may be more than one person feel that they were offended for something. It may just be more than what you think. So we need to look out for one another, very important. Look at people around us, friends, family, church members, even those who attend mosque, different groups that we all have to relate with. So we need to be sensitive and we don't want all those kind of news that you find out, oh, we didn't know he was going through that. We didn't know she was going through that. So we can always, this kind of gathering is to help us synthesize and then create more, like a reminder for many on the fact that even if you are not dealing with a mental health challenge currently, there are people around you that may have these challenges. And we must look at ensuring that they get the proper evaluation. That is very important. Some people just go ahead to start taking medications because I don't know, you must have actually talked about some signs, maybe symptoms that people may have, sleeplessness. I've talked about withdrawal from normal activities. Some people indulge in substance abuse. So those are some of the things that we need to check. I'm sure what's happening here and be able to help such individuals. So it's not that sometimes they don't even, it seems they can't control the situation. They just need that input from somebody that cares, to know that someone cares and is ready to help. So it may just mean that you will suggest seeing the doctor or a mental health expert, maybe a psychologist. The individual may just be free to share one or two things with you, and with that, it may need to go beyond you giving an advice or trying to do your own support as.
Dr. Shoemi, I don't know if it's network or is it my network?
We can hear you, Coach.
You can hear me, yeah. Dr. Shoemi is in Nigeria, so sometimes network, network.
Maybe it could be his network.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mama Bejo. Afternoon.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Behavioral Talk. Good morning, PPA. Thank you for everything. Thank you so much. Thank you. I came late, but never mind. I'm still listening.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So self-care is paramount. Thank you, Wellness Revolution. I've been seeing and seeing you're interacting. You're right. Having supportive adults around you, being able to talk to someone who can help you, knowing and seeing the signs and observing a change in a relative or family member is very important. Maybe they are not as outgoing. So we need to check on our relatives, especially elderly relatives. If they're more quiet, then and they're not their normal self, we need to check and see what's going on. How are you? Just doing a daily check-in is also important. And self-care is paramount, as Wellness Revolution said. Being
Yeah.
able to say no if you can't do something or it's outside of your parameters or overbooked and you're just tired and overwhelmed. Fatigue can not only cause us not to think with a full mental capacity, we also need to understand that rest is critical for the body just to not only overcome and reset, but also to prepare us to do what we have to do in the future. And so being able to rest ourselves, checking on our loved ones, especially elderly, widows, being able to check in with them, seeing their body language. Sometimes it's not verbally communicated, but just looking at their body and seeing that, they're not their usual self. That also, those are checks or screening them to see what is really going on, supporting them in their decision. Oh, doctor is back. We can also just find, like she said, self-care and being able to remove ourselves from environments that are overwhelming and being able to relax and get back to reset. So go ahead, doctor.
Thank you so much. I had to switch network as observed. Thank you.
Yeah, we understood it was network problems, but thank you so much for your submission. If we lost you when you are talking, I don't know.
At what point?
Yeah.
At what point? What?
You were talking about the symptoms and what have you, then we lost you. So we don't know if you
Okay.
continued talking.
I've said more. That's serious.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mentioned the fact that we should be able to look at the importance of professional support, professional care, and importantly, the need to get the individuals to have that evaluation and the right diagnosis. Sometimes we have overlap of this diagnosis, and then we just need that professional input to be able to actually define what we are dealing with, whether for you as an individual or you're doing this for a relative, a friend. Okay, so now moving from that point, usually I know for people who are scheduled for psychotherapy sessions, some people have cognitive behavioral therapy, apart from seeing their psychiatrist, mental health doctor. Sometimes it's always good to have someone accompanying such individuals because it now depends on the kind of condition. There are some situations where the individual actually has insight into their condition. They are aware of the diagnosis and what they are being managed for and of those symptoms. But there are some individuals who don't have insight. They are not aware. They don't know that they are having this particular condition. They can't even relate. So such individuals need more support. They need close monitoring, and then in relation with other services. I'm not talking about just the medical doctor here. I'm talking about other support systems that such individuals may benefit from. Some may have to be monitored or managed by a nutritionist or dietitian. Some of course some would have probably had challenge with their diets, lost interest in food, you know, and some other activities. So it's not just a one-sided thing; it's a multidisciplinary approach to management of mental health conditions. And it's always important to keep to appointments because it's during those appointments that assessments are made, and then if there are new findings or improvements are observed, medications may be modified to also help the individual. Thank you for having me. I think I should take a break there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your submission. We really appreciate that. We really appreciate that. Dr. Soyemi is in Nigeria. Is amazing. He also goes live during weekend and is a physician, right?
I try. I'm a family physician. I do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, regular live sessions, 7 p.m.
Thank you.
West African time. Thank you, ma'am, for your support.
Guys, anybody with questions, any submissions, this is the time for you. I know wellness, you cannot talk right now, but we appreciate you being here. We appreciate your comments. We appreciate everybody who is here, making sure that this event is going on smoothly. So we are waiting.